From the studios in room 117 on the campus of Amityville Memorial High School, this is the 2020-2021 Amityville Broadcasting Network Club Preview Show. Mr. Grice, Mr. Asbell, special guest star with us here this afternoon as we have plenty to talk about. Some sad events from last year. We'll talk about the COVID crisis. We'll talk about all the amazing things happening in this district. We'll preview some of the upcoming sports, take a look back at where their season ended last year, and just have some fun. Most importantly, this isn't where we want to be. We want the students. We want you right here doing what we're doing right now, which is having a great time, being part of the broadcasting club, being on the network, getting your voices out there, learning the tech skills, and having fun. Mr. Asbell, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. We've been really looking forward to getting back and to be able to be here and get started, get these headsets on and be a part of it again. This really started, and I don't think a lot of people realize this. This started a decade ago with a conversation you and I had back in the middle school. We wanted to launch this program. Years later, here we are. I couldn't be more excited.
Wow, amen to that. Well, first of all, my name is Gerald Asbell. I am the voice of Amityville Sports, and it is my pleasure to be here with Mr. Grice. As he said, years ago we talked about putting a project like this together. He and I are both graduates of a broadcasting degree, along with other things, of course. But this is a passion, and it starts when you're young. And if you're able to accomplish this at a young age, boy, oh boy.
Yeah, this is a club that's not just for fun, but you can really build skills for your future. First and foremost,
Absolutely.
Public speaking is the number one fear that most people have.
True.
And it is maybe the single most important skill other than writing that you need to do well, whether you're giving a presentation to your college professor, interviewing for a job, or doing something for your future boss, or running your own company. You need to be able to get up and talk. That's one of the skills from this. The research, the prep, the tech, and the teamwork, I think, more than anything else. My memories from doing this in college and professional, we had a blast, but the connections that we made from the people we worked with, that's what will stick with me forever more than anything else, because to accomplish this, it really does take an enormous effort from a team that's tight.
I agree. Again, Mr. Grice is definitely the right person to talk to if you want to get into a field like this. There's a lot that goes into this, however. You can't just show up and it all happens. There's a lot of people that put a lot of hard work and effort into making something like this happen. Shout out to Mr. Paul Cimino.
Mr. Paul Cimino, for those of you that don't know, he is a co-club advisor with myself, and he is Mr. Social Media, Website, TV, and Film. That's his role. So if you want to learn how to use a camera, if you want to learn how to video edit, make a commercial, if you want to learn how to do some of the social media and to use the technology we have to live stream our broadcast, he will teach you all of that. He is an expert in that area. For me, I'm an audio guru. That's my area of expertise. And, of course, I have the experience on air. And together, we make a great team. And to have Mr. Asbell here with us, consummate professional. He's done it professionally in the acting world, in the broadcasting world. You've probably all heard his voice at the Amityville games on the PA. If you have pipes like his and this is what you want to do, you can certainly go places.
Well, thank you for those kind words, Mr. Grice. But it's the students and the community that really get me involved. I am a parent of a child that also plays sports, so I understand how important it is to be entertained at a sporting event. It's not just the sports you're watching, but it's also what you hear, the sights, the sounds, the smells, all of it. It's all important. And for me, as Mr. Grice said, speaking well, communicating is very important. So those of you who know you have a great voice, or someone has told you, oh, wow, you sound good, or you have a great speaking voice, this might be something for you.
And even if you don't, I'll be the first to admit, as I sit next to you, my pipes do not match up with yours. And the stereotypical broadcaster, you used to have the deep booming voice. Yeah. It's not like that anymore.
No, it's not.
And with social media and YouTube and all these other platforms, even if you don't do anything with this for a career, you can have a lot of fun talking about the music you like, talking about the hobbies that you enjoy participating in. And that's also what this club is for. If you want to join, You can do a show on anything you want. We don't just do sports here. You can do a podcast on any topic. Last year, we had one on, I forget the name of it, but it was a meditative situation where they were playing different sounds and it was a calming effect.
Was it mindfulness?
It was some sort of mindfulness. It had its own thing. But we tried it, and it was unique, and it worked, and it transformed all over in our format. And you can check it out. It's still on our YouTube page. So we want you to participate on air any way that you would like to. We'd like to participate off air. We need tech people. We need production people. We need sound engineers and producers and directors. If you're interested, we want you. Please join up. Let's move forward on our 2020-2021 broadcasting preview show for you on the Amityville Broadcasting Network. And I think we would be remiss if we didn't talk about how our school year ended abruptly last year due to the global pandemic, COVID-19. It was a really difficult time for all of us, not just the teachers and students, but the entire Amityville community.
Yeah. I think what hit us all so hard was that it was so abrupt. It was so drastic. I mean, March 13th, I believe, was our last day of school, and everyone was expecting to come back that Monday. Not so much. We found out that our world is under attack by a very deadly disease, and we are now all recovering from that as best we could. For instance, we are here in the school, so that's a good sign. That means we have gotten back to some normalcy, but not 100%, not where we would like to see it. Would you agree with that?
I would. We're not where we want to be yet. Things are very interesting. I'll use that word in terms of the political climate of this country right now. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world. If I would send one message to everybody who may be tuning in, it would be this. One, I hope you're safe, healthy, your family is safe and healthy, and it stays that way. And two, I always think of 9/11 as what at the time seemed like the biggest event in my life, which has been dwarfed by this.
Oh, my goodness.
At that time, we came together as a country. It didn't matter, white, black, Republican, Democrat. We came together, we helped each other out, and we got through it. And I would implore all of you to remember that lesson and to do the same thing now, because we're all in this together.
We are.
We've all been affected in different ways, but in the end, we're going to come through it together.
Amen. Sounds good to me. Moving right along into sports. Now, let's talk about last season. Well, we can start with the upcoming events for the season coming, which is 2021, as far as I...
Probably going to be more 21, just
all right.
because,
unfortunately,
with the adjustment of Section 11 schedule, rightfully so, they're going to try to get all the sports in this year, and they're not going to start until, I believe, January, as long as, knock on wood, everything is okay. But when they're ready to go, boy, are they coming back to some beautiful new facilities.
Yes, they are. Holy smokes, the gym. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, Amityville has a jewel. It is called the new gym, and it is amazing. I mean, it gives you the feel of being in a college environment. The stands, the sound system, just the whole overall experience, I'm sure, is going to be monumental for this community, for our students, and most importantly, for our athletes. Would you like to come?
You have to see it to believe it. We were just talking about it as we were walking through, and you come into the parking lot and you see the old building. So it doesn't look like much has changed.
True.
But then you enter, and the facilities in the gym are beautiful.
It is.
The facilities of the classrooms. We had looked at a science classroom. It is enormous. I think you had mentioned it looks like a college campus.
It does look like a college campus.
It's
like Stony Brook.
Yeah, it really does. And these kids deserve these facilities, and I can't wait till everybody can come back and take advantage of them. But even the boys and girls locker rooms.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see
bathrooms.
The bathrooms are incredible. I'm glad to see a batting cage in the gym.
Wow.
That will help our baseball team out immensely. So if you haven't seen it, you have to come by and take a look. And there's been other capital improvement projects throughout the school district, which most of them are finishing up. They all look amazing.
Northwest?
And Northwest looks great. You have to give credit to the hundreds of people that helped make this happen, including those of you living in the community that supported this initiative.
Absolutely. I agree. Also, Mr. Grice is also the tennis coach, and there's, 2 3 new tennis courts out there?
There are 8
Wow.
new tennis courts out there. So they actually demolished 4 of our old courts. They refurbished 4 of the old courts. And when I say refurbished, I mean it's a brand new court. And then they built us 4 brand new courts right next to it. So we have 8 altogether. It's painted in the Warrior colors.
Nice.
And there's no plants growing out of the concrete yet. It is beautiful. So the sports, the academic setup that they have in the new building, it's really going to benefit students for years and years to come. And I can tell you that we are proud as employees of the district to be able to be part of that.
I was just going to say, for the teachers who have to teach in these facilities, wow, you are lucky because they look great. Everything's brand new, and it just gives you a fresh approach on what you're trying to do. So I hope that all works out for everybody. Okay. And now, boys and girls basketball.
Well, let's talk about last year a little bit. Boys and girls basketball. I mean, basketball in general, Long Island, Amityville, it's one of the most popular sports. Soccer probably being the other, and because of their success. We'll talk about that in a few moments. But as far as the basketball team goes, you have to be so proud of what the boys did last year, and at the same time so disappointed that they didn't get to end their season. But let's start with the girls, because the girls team lost a ton of talent at graduation last year. And even though their record was 4-15 overall, it doesn't look that great. We were there, and again, we want you there calling these games. They played hard. Every game was close. They lost a lot of heartbreakers down the stretch, and this is a team that is moving in the right direction.
Right. Players like the Tobinator. Tobin was amazing. Sabitha was also amazing as well. These are students that started in 9th grade playing and played all the way up to being seniors. So those of you out there who are interested in doing that, you absolutely are in the right place for that. Now, to talk about the girls team for a second, the girls varsity basketball team is definitely on the uptick. There are a lot of new players. There are a lot of players who have yet to be seen, who people don't even know their names yet. But I guarantee you they will become district names when they're given the opportunity to play. And speaking of playing, the boys.
The boys were fantastic last year. They weren't quite as good the year before, falling short to Miller Place in the playoffs. And they won the state championship before that.
Yes,
they're returning a lot of talent. Last season, they ended with a 16-0 league record, 18-2 overall, and their last game was in a packed house at Farmingdale State University. And it was a nail-biter against Senator Rich's, 78-75. They were looking forward to going on another title run. Unfortunately, their season, much like everyone else's, was cut short due to COVID.
True. Players like Devard Lucas, Goddard.
Who's coming back as a senior now. Miles Goddard, the brother of Julius, who was there when they won their first ring. Yep. They're well coached by Coach Gordon Thomas. They play a disciplined game, and they have players on this team that have been there a long time and that have gone on the runs to the state championship, to the playoffs. They've experienced the heartbreak. So I don't know if there's going to be a playoff system this year the way we are used to, but I think the expectations are high that they will have a lot of success.
Well, shout out to Josh Serrano for bringing that championship home. We fell short, but not because of not trying. We fell short because of COVID. So with that in mind, let's talk about football. The upcoming football season will probably be in 2021, and we look forward to having the Amityville Warriors really go attack it this year. The history of Amityville football goes way, way back, back to the Lou Howard days, right, to which the field is named. Coach Billy Kretz is going to give it 100%, I know, this year, and we'll have to wait and see what happens with that.
Yeah, they're going to be working hard as soon as they are allowed to do so. Again, workouts have been limited, and every team on Long Island, every team probably in the country is in the same boat right now. That should be fun. Hopefully we get a belated homecoming. We'll have to see what they do with that. some other interesting things going on in the world of sports here that you will get to be a part of along with us, assuming everything goes according to plan in the springtime. We have a JV girls lacrosse team that was supposed to start their second season last year. It was canceled due to COVID. But, boy, were they great their first season.
Yes,
even though it's only JV, to start a brand new program and to be really good from day one, you have to give credit to the coaches and the student athletes that showed up to play.
Absolutely. Coach Margot Howard, and
she's been great. Coach
great.
Howard has been amazing. This has been something that she's been fighting to bring here for a
Yes.
long time, and the students are benefiting from it tremendously. Moving over to another spring sport, since we're on the topic, track and baseball. I mean, the track program here at Amityville has a long history under Coach Hawkins of success. Those athletes have gone on to college and received scholarships for what they've done. They've won state titles.
Yep.
And the baseball team, which we all know the record isn't what we want it to be, but every year they say the same thing, and it is 100% true. You were talking about some of the best guys in this school that come together, they play for each other, they work hard, and hopefully this year they'll get a W under the belt.
Let's hope so. Let's hope so. Again, there's a lot of talent out here in Amityville, but the only way they're going to see you is if you come out. So if you're interested in any of these sports that we're talking about, as soon as you hear about it, come out, try out for a team. If you make it, fantastic, we'll see you. But if you don't, that doesn't mean you should give up. That means you should just try harder and remain vigilant, and you'll get what you want.
And if you don't make the team but you love sports, join us right here on the Amityville Broadcasting Network. And it's not just sports. We will broadcast the Black History Month ceremony. We'll do graduation. We'll do anything that you want to do up to and including your own shows. So as we get set to wrap up on what will hopefully be another amazing year for us here at the Broadcasting Club, but also for the high school and the district as a whole, do you have any final thoughts that you would like to put out there for our audience?
I'd also like to shout out the middle school sports teams as well. The volleyball team, basketball team, track and field down there as well, softball, and baseball. Those are all teams that will now be able to move up and show that they were ready for the big show and for the big dance.
So we have a lot of excitement coming up this year. We
do.
didn't know if we would be here or not, but we've made it. We're here. Now we need you to join us on the Amityville Broadcasting Network. I need producers, tech people, directors, and on-air broadcasters to learn the trade and have a great time doing it. We hope to see you soon. Find myself, Mr. Grice. Find Mr. Cimino if you're in another building. Find Mr. Asbel as well.
Go to AmityvilleWarriors.com for upcoming broadcasts and events. This has been a presentation of the Amityville Broadcasting Network.